Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A proposal being floated in Madison would require all public schools to display "In God We Trust" on the walls of classrooms. The bill has been introduced by 3 GOP lawmakers who say the measure would codify a trend of states enacting similar laws since the attacks on 9/11. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the bill would require the displays to be present in all public school buildings within 6 months of the bill being passed and in schools by the 2026-27 school year. While the bill will face a stiff political challenge, legally the U.S. Appeals Court has ruled the motto is constitutional and does not infringe on Americans' rights to free religion. Governor Tony Evers has not commented. With the Trump administration announcing to use Guantanamo Bay to hold up to 30,000 migrants, many in immigrant communities are unsure as to what their status in the U.S. is. Immigration attorney Michelle Simmons Rodriguez says the administration's executive orders are too broad, which has resulted in many people across the U.S. fearing for their futures.
So really, it's a matter of people not knowing what's going on and the anxiety of, well, now they can go anywhere. They can go into churches. They can go into schools. They can go into hospitals, which is causing a real chilling effect in immigrant communities.
Right now, more funding and solutions must be added to U.S. Customs and Border Patrol when dealing with migrants.
There has to be an orderly way to do immigration. But the money has to be put into figuring out how we're going to do that. And you have to secure the border, but you have to give immigration more money to do that. And you have to process the cases that are pending. We have 3.5 million cases pending in immigration courts.
Beyond getting the adequate funding to handle the amount of immigration cases in limbo and to solve some of the immigration issues, Simmons Rodriguez says more needs to be done to hire immigration judges. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, it's a tragedy. This airline, right when I was about to fly to D.C. Like, really? Nah, we're not going. We're not going. I actually changed the flight that I was flying into so that I would not have to fly into Reagan. I'm flying to Charleston, West Virginia, and I'm flying to Baltimore. I avoid Reagan altogether now. Even then, I hate flying into Reagan because depending on where you're coming from, you have to make that left turn to get to runway 33 North, right? You know, like on the compass, it's 33. Well, the only way to get there, because you're coming from where you're coming, you can't fly over certain buildings, you can't fly over the Pentagon, you can't fly over the White House, all that. You have to fly in and make a left turn. And so what it sounds like is that other airplane was getting into the glide path, but the helicopter mistakenly thought the plane in front was the plane they put in the glide path and started to ascend to get into the glide, and they connected and it crashed. So, 67 people dead, 7 on the helicopter, 60 on the airplane. So my condolences to the families and the folks that have to deal with the fact that they lost a loved one. Be that as it may, here's the deal. This is for you. So when you look on Spotify, when you look on Apple Podcasts, it's going to say, this is for you. All right? So don't make a mistake thinking I wasn't talking to you, right? Don't make a mistake thinking this wasn't something that you wanted to do. This is for you. Something I want to share with you that I think you need to know. So yesterday I talked about the fact of inertia, right? I talked about the fact that when you start ahead of someone and there's nothing to stop you from rolling, you simply roll faster, right? You reach if you drop something, you reach terminal velocity, right? You go so fast that you can't go any faster. And when you get 4 loops around the track, 5 loops around the track, and then you get to go. See, I'm starting to change the way that I see white privilege, how I see people getting ahead. It really is inertia. They're moving so fast that they really don't have to do anything. They just do it because that's the way it's been for, 100 years. And what's happening is, like I said yesterday, all I have to do is hold you back enough and keep my momentum going forward enough where I don't have that problem. I'm moving by myself, so I really don't have to bother. I'm just accumulating, but I held you back long enough so that even if I stop, it'll take a full, probably a good 5 centuries before we catch up. But when you see your future and when you see what other people have, you can't let that slow you down. You can't let that think you can't win. And a lot of people get upset when I say win. A lot of people get upset when I say, about making money and being able to take care of one's family and give and contribute, donate. They seem to think that happiness is more important than the dollar. Then why do you get paid so much money? It's always the people that are getting paid like, $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 a year that say you shouldn't worry about money. That's because they've had it. And honestly, this is just me, but if you're white, it's easy to say that. When you've had generations head start. Every single time black people got held back, it was because of money. All the places that got burned down, all the rioting, money. If you look like you're going to win, if it looks like you're going to become wealthy, y'all can get like 4, 5 of y'all, right? Maybe 6. But after that, that's all you get. And everything else is shut down. But today I want to talk about how you see yourself. I've been called an Oreo. I've been called arrogant. I've been called conceited. When really I'm just confident. Something I learned a long time ago that, I had a play uncle who's in his 70s now, maybe even 80s, something that never left me. He said, don't discredit what you can do by what you don't have. How you look at yourself and how you develop isn't based on where you are today. It's where you're going. I'm victim of the flip side of that. You see where I am, and you trash me because you think I've been this way all my life. But many of you have no idea, absolutely no idea, what trauma is, what heartache is, what heartbreak is in my life. Not yours, not in the world, but in my life, because you don't know. There's some things I'm not transparent about. If you grew up the way I grew up, some things you wouldn't share with anybody. They'd be like, wait, what, really? Yep, really. And maybe one day I'll get brave enough to say something. But what I'm trying to say is that if I had discredited what I could become in life and what I could achieve because I didn't have it, I would still be stuck on the south side of Chicago in poverty, living off food stamps, God forbid, probably dead. Because you don't have a car doesn't mean you can't have one in the future. Because you don't own a house doesn't mean you can't own a house in the future. If you don't have a job that pays you $250,000 a year, doesn't mean you can't have one. Family, kids, name it. But don't trash other people that have something that you want, but then you got to trash it because you don't think you can get it. And that's what we do to each other. We trash. I can't believe he think he ought to. Look at that suit. Look at that. Think he ought that because he got that hoodie on with the little cane thing on it. What is that? But then if you had one, guess what? You'd be talking to them too. Yep, I got one of those too. Yep, I drive one of those too. Yeah, I live in that neighborhood too. Really? Stop discrediting what you can do by what you don't have. Overcome the fear and do it. It's kind of simple. It won't kill you. It's kind of simple. But if we continue to look at what we don't have and think that's our future, you'll have everything you want. And guess what? You won't lack nothing because you won't have nothing.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, it's Dr. Ken Harris, and I want to invite you to join us for our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at the Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 5:30 p.m. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate individuals making a difference in our community. Get your tickets now by going to 1017thetruth.com. Tickets are only $25 and include free food, drinks, and a night to remember. Visit 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
It's time for the 32nd Annual Young Gentleman Scholarship Botillion, presented by the Seven Jewels Foundation and the Delta Chi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. A Botillion young gentleman is a high school senior in Milwaukee who's about to embark on adulthood and has chosen to pursue higher education, college, trade, or technical school. One lucky bowl will win a $5,000 scholarship. Apply by February 21st, 2025, and for more information, call Kevin Patterson at 414-364-2835.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not invisible. Do my eyes speak true? My soul so in touch with yours tonight. Won't let my head take flight. We could leave this place, freedom ours to chase. What if I escape with you? What if I escape with you? What if I escape with you? What if I escape?
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Calling all Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story just like you heard between the Tori Lowe Show and Dr. Ken today at 3:57? We've teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky businesses owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So to sign up, your Black Business Spotlight, right? If you want to be on that interview, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. You just can't let it go, can you? It's it. Yep. That's it, ain't it? 833-212-1017 is the number. That's Escape. Yeah. It's been one of those days. You ever had one of those days where... Anyway, at 4:30, I've got Mark Chambers, who was the 2nd District Alderman here in Milwaukee, coming in, and we're going to talk about Milwaukee and talk about the things that are happening in the city. And if you got any questions for him, or if you got any issues or whatever, give us a call at 833-212-1017. He'll be in at 4:30. And then at 5:15, Brian D., who is the content director for ESPN Milwaukee, is going to be in. We're going to talk about sports and life and how to connect those and all that kind of stuff from a sports perspective. Since y'all always be complaining, I never talk about sports. I never talk about... So we're going to talk about sports. Cool? All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me go on and check the talking text line because, you know, y'all be hollering at me and stuff, and y'all hurt my feelings. I've already had my feelings. Dr. Ken, that was a great and profound opening, says Marquise. Thank you. Yeah, it's just one of those things that's always rubbed me the wrong way when people don't have, I don't know what to call it. Is it willpower? Is it the drive, determination, persistence? Like, what is it? And I guess it depends on at what point in your life are you, because I don't want to say journey. I hate buzzwords and cliquish words. When you're at that point in your life where you might need some persistence because you're in the middle of it and you got to finish. That's going to take some persistence. Resilience is when you get knocked down or you fail and you got to get back up and dust yourself off and keep going. Right? So you need different things. I don't know if you need everything, but in the end, you have to recognize you're going to get something that you don't have, but you don't have it now. And that was difficult for me growing up. Growing up, I thought I would literally always live in poverty. There are some people today, just like my children, who literally do not know poverty. I mean, not even close. So then poverty is I got to pay my, rent every month, and I got a little bit of money left over at the end, but they got a job. Or they can go out and do something else, or they could Uber, or they could do Lyft, or they could, I don't have that. I didn't have that. So I didn't have the drive to do things because I didn't see anybody doing it. And that's another piece of it. When you see other people doing something that you want to do, that makes it profoundly easier to get done. But when you don't have, when it's just you and you don't have it and you want it and you're driving towards it, don't let anybody talk you out of it. I literally had a woman say when I went to go pick up my daughter from school, "What are you reading?" I said, "A textbook." "Oh, you're back in school?" She literally looked at me and said, "What are you doing that for? Don't you have enough education?" And I said, if I was your grandson or your son, would you be saying that to them? Like, wow. Your mindset, your thinking is actually, or is it that I can't? Is it that I don't need education, or that you don't think I can anyway, so why am I bothering? Because I've gotten that a lot in my life too. And that's been a main driver in getting multiple degrees so that I could do what I want to do. So even to this day, if I want to do something or learn something, I just go get a certificate in it. I've always wanted to learn everything I wanted to learn about venture capital, how to build a business, how to get people to invest and then invest in different businesses and go, right? So guess what I got to do? Go find a class that teaches, it's a weekend class or whatever on venture capital, how to start a venture cap. Okay, boop, and I'm going to go do it. But I've been wired that way because I can't discount what I don't have. Because all I got to do is acquire it. And I can't be afraid to fail. I can't be afraid to say, hey, I tried that and it didn't work. I'm going to try something else. I've come full circle being in radio. I literally started in radio, and now I'm full circle back in radio. Best thing I ever did. I love it. Even with all the troubles and the people and the drama and the management and content and marketing, you got to go to this meeting and do all this stuff. I absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, absolutely love it. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, "Oh my God, are you wired?" I was like, so when I get off the air, I'm pumped because I've been talking for 2 hours. and I could talk for like 5. So, so I'm wound. You're like, wow, you really are. Like, you light up. Do you realize that? I was like, no, I don't like it. Yes, you do. You know, then I became defensive. No, I don't. They were like, yeah, you be lit. When you get off the radio, you are like, you walk faster, you talk faster, you move, because it's who I am, and I absolutely love it. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's moving forward in your life is one of the most important things you can do. Doesn't matter if there's failure, doesn't matter if there's anything. You need to learn that you can do anything you want to do. You can go anywhere you want to go. You can start or stop anything. Will it be painful? Sure. Will it be hurtful? Sure. But I guess now, before I take my break, Major Mike, where you been?
Sir, man, I turned on the radio, Doc, at just now. You know what you said when you said about your kids, and you said, hey, we worked hard to put them through, college. I got a couple college graduates out of Howard, right?
Yeah.
Son come home, he does like Uber Eats. I'm like, are you serious? Because he had those options, Doc.
Right.
Man, you said something so powerful, because our kids have those. There's a separation. We're not monolithic, all those things, man.
Wait. Are you saying black people are not the same? We don't all eat the same stuff and drink the same stuff, vote the same?
Here you go, global man. Here you go. You know where you do not bait me down this road. Man, you hit my passion, because for the first time after, looking at all what the new office, Doc, I'm telling you, I said to myself, instead of worrying about these last, 10, I'm, trying to get to where, retirement, where you are right now, where you can just cruise and just say whatever, your doctor knowledge, whatever you want, you have those options. I never thought about that. I just thought about grinding. I stepped back for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, I can do something, I know how to, to serve. I'm in manufacturing. I know how to serve these people. Man, these kids cannot even get to jobs on the Northwest side. Man, it's a million plants and everything out here. And we're talking about, when they talk about DEI, you're basically, what you're doing is you're replacing the jobs that they're shipping these people out with, and you're going to have to pay the cost. So I'm sitting there, how do the people we have not solved, and this is, a whole different subject, how in Wisconsin to get the people to these jobs. Everything is on the outer layers.
Yep.
You hear what I know?
And that's not accidental.
I hit the spot.
And that ain't accidental.
Okay. And see, that's the part to you. When you've been your head down, you've been grinding, like say on me, I worked dark hours last 20 years. I don't even, when my head came up and I became an empty nester recently, then the options all of a sudden came. Retirement. That's good. I did 20. Military. All those things. And then now I'm looking at my. I was so mad at at Republican Mike for doing what he did. I'm mad at you for whatever. We're gonna go off that subject, because somebody said today about this radio station, y'all have actually, and Sherman came on, 3 different personalities. People think, again, like you just said, we're one. We're not.
Right.
We're not. Especially in Milwaukee, with the small number of people that we have those who can break and do other things. Huh? I was one of them that fighting with you. I was holding the line till this election. I swear, I'm like, I'm a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. I'm union, da, 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 da. And I looked around here and I'm like, whoa, I'm the only one thinking like this, Doc.
Yeah.
You can go ahead. You can, man, I ain't here to talk. I'm just here to say, man, thank you. Again, you hit a passion spot that I cannot even argue with, man. What are we doing as people when we can expand and do other things, with options? Not everybody, but those of us who want to try. What we've lost in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, is each one teach one. You feel what I'm saying? We don't do anything together for nothing, even a jump off. We ain't even got two pastors in the same church. We can't even do that. So that's where I'm at, Doc. I ain't trying to take no time. You just hit a passion button right there when you know what you said. Everybody else heard what you said. But it's like, man, wow. I can't believe I'm agreeing with you on this.
Well, thank you much. I appreciate it. And keep listening and keep calling.
You know I'm going to do that, man. I held back for a minute till I heard myself on the intro. And I'm like, man, I was so mad with you that day, man.
Wow.
All I could do was temper myself.
Wow.
Because I know that my opinion, it was a dominant one. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so mad at guys thinking if 40 white folk hold our entire black population in the world, 40 people, what are we doing? Haven't been here this many years in this country. I would never say, my thing with you, I was scared, right, to say against us. I was scared to say what maybe you got
to hold the line down.
You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
I was but now I'm not. Yeah, this enough of this, man. We have to go on our own, where your expertise, where your schooling, exactly where you're going here, where your education is, and we can't be afraid to step out. Okay? So I can't believe I'm agreeing with you 100. Usually we're about 75 and, my good and 25 yours. But now today, man, you caught me, man, and I really appreciate this. And I will be calling in on this, man. God, dog. Doc, you don't even sound like you were on the first, before the election. You don't sound like that. But after now, God, dog, man, you hitting all the sweet spots, they would call it, in the industry, man. Please help these people here, man. Step out and stop just laying up here worried about how you can beat the system. There is no more money coming in from those people. They're done. DEI is what? Jim Crow, the new Jim Crow. We could do it for 4 years. It ain't went through Congress. So all we got to do is change it back. It will not go through, but we have to work together for a common cause. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit anecpr.com to get certified today. That's anecpr.com.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Westbound 94, we've got a combination of sun glare and a broken down vehicle at about Hawley Road. It's going to be affecting your ride. So watch out for delays all the way back from the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Also, southbound on 43, we've got some pretty heavy traffic from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette. Northbound's going to be backed up out of the Marquette up towards North Avenue as well. We got southbound 41 slowing from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, increasing clouds, late rain chance, mainly to the south of I-94, low of 34. Then tomorrow, early rain showers, mainly to the south of 94 again, mostly cloudy with breezy conditions, cooler, a high of 38. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneid. Figure skaters and their coaches and family members among those that were passengers on an American Airlines jet that collided with an Army helicopter near Ronald Reagan National Airport and crashed into the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday night. The Skating Club of Boston said 6 members were killed in that crash. Over to college hoops, where the 17th ranked Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team lost a tough one on the road last night in Maryland. This one by a final score of 76-68. The loss dropping the Badgers to an overall record of 16-5 on their season. Next up is another Big Ten road trip out to Northwestern on Saturday. And lastly, no Bucks game tonight. They're in San Antonio to take on the Spurs on Friday night. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. My guest this afternoon, it only took 4 years. How long you been in office?
November of 2022.
Okay. It only took 4 years. I can't count. I can't count. It only took 4 years to get him in the office. Lord have mercy. Mark Chambers, I should call him Mike Chambers just to see what he says.
Oh, no.
2nd District Alderman in the city of Milwaukee. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Dr. Ken. How are you doing?
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. So y'all not called honorable, or y'all just call alderman or alderwoman? Because there's no such thing as an alder, even though that's the stupidest thing I keep hearing people call people.
Yeah.
Either change the city charter, change something, but
I'd rather be called alderman than council member.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't like that. But the mailing, sometimes we receive flyers or booklets and everything, and it has honorable. So when I look at that, I kind of chuckle.
Because it is honorable.
Yeah, it is, but
it's like an older person, right?
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
Yeah.
I never knew what that was.
But it's just more of I am honored to represent 40,000 residents in the city of Milwaukee in the 2nd District. But yeah, it is. But it still gets me kind of hits me oh, honorable. Okay, cool. So, But I'd rather be called an alderperson or alderman over.
If you say person, I'm never speaking to you.
Well, I'm an alderman.
We're not getting rid of gender here. We are not getting rid of gender.
We have aldermen.
Thank you, man. Right.
But I'd rather get called those over a council member because I don't like that.
And I prefer to call a woman, not an alderman, even though that's the statutory name.
Yeah.
Call her an alderwoman.
Yeah.
But alderperson is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And when people do it, I don't know why they do it. But we don't want to show gender. Like what? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how you do your job because you deal with people in Milwaukee.
I deal with great people in Milwaukee.
So yes, they are. What are your boundaries of the 2nd District?
So I go as south as 51st and Capitol. I go
my alderman.
Yeah, I go north of 107th Street and Mill Road.
Whoa!
It's
somebody got drunk that day, right?
I don't know what happened when they drew the maps, but I'm surrounded by 5 different automatic districts. So
yeah, somebody got drunk.
Yep. So south is 51st Capitol. North is 107th and Mill Road. West, obviously, or east, obviously is no, my apologies. Sorry. South is Capitol. North is Good Hope. I have a little portion of 91st and Good Hope. East is 51st. West is 107th Street. So
wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah, but primarily my district is between Hampton and Mill Road from 55th Street to 107th.
So it's almost like an L shape.
Yeah, it's cut up. It's chopped and screwed. So yeah, but
your city fathers at work.
Yeah, and I mean they cut. I lost some and I gained some.
Right.
So I've inherited a second closed Walmart, the one on
51st.
Nope,
Silver Spring.
Yep. So
they just closed. Yeah.
Yep. So I have the Walmart in Midtown, but now I inherited the second one.
Is that still open?
No, they closed last year.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, the year before last, actually.
So what are we doing? So as an alderman, you're like help us understand what exactly is your job as an alderman.
Primarily, my job is to ensure that our city services are being maintained, whether that is, our trash, our recycling, I take care of the quality of life for my residents.
Okay.
But also do legislation and ordinance writing for the betterment of our city. Right. Not only just for the 2nd District, but for the betterment of our city.
All right. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Our guest is the Honorable Mark. Okay, I'm not going to say it then.
I like it. Go ahead, man.
That dude is here.
Talk, man.
Look, that dude from the 2nd District, Mark Chambers. And we'll be talking. When we come back, I want to know what your vision is for. No, I don't want to know what your vision is. I want to know how the city's going to look when you come out of office. Be that 4 years, 12 years, 15 years. What will it look like?
Absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You cannot look me in the face and tell me that America is the greatest country in the world when you have people who cannot have access to quality health care.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
We need to change the structure of insurance companies to make them nonprofits so that there's not a profit motive for you to make up your mind as to whether or not you're going to help somebody.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
What's up, Truth Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice, from my friends at Steinhafels. Test Rest, a Beauty Rest Black mattress at Steinhafels for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $399. Add an adjustable base and save up to $900, y'all. Queen Beauty Rest Black mattresses start at just $38 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is 1017 The Truth's Tori Lowe, and I am Milwaukee. The Tori Lowe Show has become a resource for the community. I enjoy having open, on-air discussions about what we can do to regroup, rethink the black man, the black woman, and the black child. This show is about that action, and I want all the smoke. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. Don't be rocking your head up on my music. This is my music.
That's Sade.
Don't be rocking my music.
Yeah.
Alderman Chambers, 2nd District in Milwaukee. So, what does the 2nd District look like?
It's sustainable.
When you're done.
It's sustainable. It's thriving. I am a very big proponent of creating our own little downtown within our district.
Okay, so give me some measurement. Like, do I have 10 extra businesses? Do I have X amount of feet of this? Because you know what I want to ask you, right?
Yeah.
When is Starbucks coming back? That's all I want to know. Now, I got nothing against black coffee places.
Yeah.
But the ambiance, the thing, like, I don't even know if you was old enough to come to Starbucks at the time. But
I'll be 39 this year. So
yeah, you wasn't old enough.
Oh, Starbucks over in Midtown?
You wasn't old enough. We was having grown conversations 10, 15 years ago.
I was the president of the Black Student Union at MATC.
That don't count.
Come on. No, don't disrespect the BSU at MATC now, Dr. Ken.
I'll just disrespect you.
Oh, man, disrespect me now.
But in all seriousness, personally, I think this will sound strange. I think first of all, I went in there downtown.
Yeah,
Bigby's Coffee.
Yeah,
I'm a coffee snob.
Yeah,
I like their coffee.
Yeah,
that's one.
Yeah.
Number two, I think they are deserving of more upscale.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're more deserving of a. Wow, this is the destination place, right?
Yep.
Of the way we used to treat Starbucks.
Absolutely.
We just need Starbucks because we got to get through and I need some coffee. I know what I'm getting. I'm in and out.
Yep.
But their coffee was really good.
Yeah, but I mean, even with Bigby and the proprietor over there, he's a very, very nice gentleman, and I do support him. And I know that when they were coming in the market, their first place was looking for was in Midtown.
Right.
So I would support a coffee shop, whether it's Starbucks, whether it's Bigby. I mean, I'm a Starbucks guy myself. When I went to Bigby, they have some drinks for me as well. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea or like little flavored drinks. But I'm all for having experiences for the 2nd District residents in the 2nd District where they don't have to go to downtown all the time. Now, while we love
or drive all the way to a suburb to get some coffee.
Absolutely. Now, while we love downtown and we love our surrounding areas, 2nd District is our home. That's where we pay our taxes. That's where we lay our heads. That's where we protect our assets and our children and everything of that nature. So we really need to have those entities within the district. So it takes me back to the question that you asked, what do I want to see in there? I want to see it all, to be honest. That's the general answer. But the more minute answer is, I want to see more sit-down family restaurants. I want to see less gas stations, less liquor stores. Since I've been alderperson, and I would never say never. If the business sense makes sense, I'm all for it. I'm all for growing business, entrepreneurship, and just general business aspects within the city, especially within the 2nd District. But I don't need to see liquor stores in my district. I've approved one. I may approve a second one soon, but and that was Century grocery store. But like a standalone liquor store, like we don't need to see.
Yeah,
that. We don't need to see.
So watch this. Why not? They're all over the suburbs.
Where are they all over the suburbs at?
Have you been to Glendale?
Liquor, like standalone liquor stores? You don't see standalone liquor stores.
Total Wine?
That's one.
That's enough. Look how big it is.
But
they sell everything.
Yeah, but I think in my district alone, I have
Brown Deer has a few too. The question I'm asking is why not?
Because we don't need that perpetrating in our communities.
Why?
Because we don't need it. We need better access to.
Who are you to tell me I can't have a drink?
I'm the representative of 40,000 people who elect me to be responsible for.
But you don't tell me I can't drink.
You can drink all you want. You just got to go and get it.
But what if the majority of those 40,000 people said I want a liquor store?
Then as their representative, we can get a liquor store. But it's up to them for what they want. I'm not just going to say, hey, let's put this liquor store.
But that's what makes you different, right? You actually listen to what people say to you.
Absolutely.
And then you go, well, no, I have to vote no because they said no.
Yeah,
that this even during the whole tax thing, right? Yeah. I'm retired from the city, and in order for them to be able to continue to pay my pension, they needed the 2%.
Yeah.
But I said no. And people are like, well, why would you do that? Because I know the effect it's going to have on everybody else in the city that can't afford it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And it didn't make sense to my residents. And, as the only person who did a district-wide
survey and questionnaire, you did.
It was overwhelmingly
no.
It was overwhelmingly no.
Cut all the other fat stuff you got sitting around here. Yeah. Cut some of those people that are sitting in offices and are doing their job, but they could be a little bit more efficient.
Mm-hmm. I'm all for that. I'm all for efficiency. It just we just have to get down to it. And that was kind of some of the conversations I had with other political heads throughout the state, in the state legislature, and they were saying the same thing, but the state doing the same thing too. So it's like you kind of got to practice what you preach before you start coming over here as far as doing that, especially as the economic engine of the state. We need more share revenue. I just have to stress that. One of the reasons why I was very strong against the sales taxes, the math wasn't mathing.
It never did, and it never does. Like y'all need to do Madison the way Chicago does Springfield.
Yeah.
And then you'll get what you need. Because Chicago would be like, okay, we're not. What do you mean you're not? We're just not paying you.
Yeah.
Well, it's state law says you got to transfer that money. We're not.
Yeah.
We're just going to hold on to it until we talk.
Yeah. I mean, the Republicans are doing that right now.
Exactly.
With other things. So
exactly. No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then people wake up and go, I guess I got to come to the table. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I mean, that's in due time, but I do appreciate the relationship building that we are having in Madison. And this is where I know you get on him a lot.
Get on who?
The person I'm going to mention. This is where I give him credit. he got Robin Voss, the Speaker of the legislation, from a no to a yes. And I would give Mayor Cavalier Johnson credit for that. Because
okay, I didn't hear you. Credit for what?
Credit for getting us to the table and having those conversations, even though the sales tax, for what it is, what it's worth.
Oh, I did too. See how you be treating.
But you get on him and other things.
I get on everybody.
Yeah,
I get on you. Get on you.
I know, but what that did for us,
right?
It also allowed us, that olive branch, to go out and talk to other state legislatures or state representatives and senators throughout the state.
But why wouldn't you do that anyway? Because it's your job.
I agree.
That doesn't make any sense.
But it don't make sense to. It makes sense to me because
you already do it.
Right. So, but other people was not doing that prior to us getting in, and prior to that 2% under the Barrett administration.
Like
people
stuff.
I get it. I don't care what happened in the past, but I'm just telling you. Like, I believe that the mayor. I believe that the mayor. County executive. They provided that olive branch to where people are not have apprehension to go and speak with that. So, I do value the times that I talk good, bad, or indifferent with people from Madison, because it's some hard conversations that we have. It's some tough conversations, but
it's your money.
It's still conversations, as opposed to just murmur, and they just close the door on us, stuff like that. They actually open the door for us. So,
all right,
yeah.
Mark Chambers, 2nd District Alderman, City of Milwaukee. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Dr.
See, that wasn't too bad, was it?
Hey, man.
Now, the second time you come back, it's going to be on. I'm finding with all the...
I'm ready, man.
All right.
I just wanted to highlight one thing.
We got about 30 seconds.
All right. I have a 2nd District Town Hall next Thursday, February 6th at the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, 5460 North 64th Street from 5:30 to 7. Please stop in. We have another 2 coming after that. So once you find out, Mark Chambers, Alderman Mark Chambers on Instagram, Facebook, and Mark Chambers MKE on Twitter. Or X.
All right. Thank you much. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We're going to talk offline about why he's having his town hall during my show, but we'll talk about that later.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash. Fantastic. Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A proposal being floated in Madison would require all public schools to display "In God We Trust" on the walls of classrooms. The bill has been introduced by 3 GOP lawmakers who say the measure would codify a trend of states enacting similar laws since the attacks on 9/11. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reports the bill would require the displays to be present in all public school buildings within 6 months of the bill being passed and in schools by the 2026-27 school year. While the bill will face a stiff political challenge, legally the U.S. Appeals Court has ruled the motto is constitutional and does not infringe on Americans' rights to free religion. Governor Tony Evers has not commented. With the Trump administration announcing to use Guantanamo Bay to hold up to 30,000 migrants, many in immigrant communities are unsure as to what their status in the U.S. is. Immigration attorney Michelle Simmons Rodriguez says the administration's executive orders are too broad, which has resulted in many people across the U.S. fearing for their futures.
So really, it's a matter of people not knowing what's going on and the anxiety of, well, now they can go anywhere. They can go into churches. They can go into schools. They can go into hospitals, which is causing a real chilling effect in immigrant communities.
Right now, more funding and solutions must be added to U.S. Customs and Border Patrol when dealing with migrants.
There has to be an orderly way to do immigration. But the money has to be put into figuring out how we're going to do that. And you have to secure the border, but you have to give immigration more money to do that. And you have to process the cases that are pending. We have 3.5 million cases pending in immigration courts.
Beyond getting the adequate funding to handle the amount of immigration cases in limbo and to solve some of the immigration issues, Simmons Rodriguez says more needs to be done to hire immigration judges. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I want to say thank you to Mark Chambers, the 2nd District Alderman here in the city of Milwaukee County. I want to talk to you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, Happy New Year means a lot of rough days that are ahead, even though it's like 50, 55 degrees today. You're going to be suffering from possibly seasonal affect disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days that are on the horizon. And, well, sometimes all we really want is to be snugly and warm at home, and that's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin come in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. And Pella can also make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. So consider celebrating the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Now, you got one day, because you got to hurry. You only have until January 31st, that's tomorrow, to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. You have until January 31st. You got one more day. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com. That's Pella, PellaWI.com.
Number 5.
Here in the city of Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, a story by Chris Ramirez, a lawsuit filed against St. Peter Emmanuel Lutheran Church and School by a former student who claimed the school officials failed to protect him from a teacher who sexually assaulted him, is moving to Wisconsin State Court. This past Monday, U.S. District Court Judge Brett Ludwig in Milwaukee dismissed Josiah Strong's Title IX claim against the institution, arguing that it was untimely. The case was brought after the state's 6-year statute of limitations for personal injury claims. The judge also relinquished jurisdiction over the rest of the claims of Strong's lawsuit, opening the door for the case to be litigated in state court. Strong's attorney, B. Ivory Lamar, refiled the case this past Wednesday morning, yesterday, in Milwaukee County Court, and says, we're still very confident in our case. Attempts to reach attorneys for St. Peter Emmanuel and former instructor Elizabeth Dillett, who are named as respondents in the lawsuit, were unsuccessful. In July, Strong filed a lawsuit in federal court in Milwaukee against the school, Dillett, and Lutheran Urban Mission Initiatives organization that runs St. Peter Emmanuel. Interesting times here in the city.
Number 4.
Do you drive? Why is he here again? It's like a gnat. I'm just kidding. What's up, Glenn? So you got to take that hat off though. We don't wear that kind of stuff in here. That's look. Okay. He's doing good. I'm able to tease him, and he's like, hey, play wrong and all that. And meanwhile, he got earbuds in. He can't hear a word I'm saying, and he don't even care. He thought I didn't notice. Do y'all drive? Do you like drive?
I love driving.
Where you buy your gas?
You say, wait, what you say?
Where do you buy your gas?
What do you mean, the gas station?
Oh, Lord. That's like asking somebody, where you live? At my house. What gas station do you go to, dude?
Like primarily,
Lord,
it says Clark right by. It says Clark right on Prospect. That I typically go to, or I go to this BP.
Where at?
I go to this one on Plankington sometimes, or I go to one on Oakland.
Okay. You know who Sonia Nash is?
No clue.
You know who Marvin Nash is?
Never heard of him.
You ever been to 8th and Atkinson?
Oh, I know. Yeah, that gas station right there. Yeah,
the BP gas station. They're the only black-owned gas station in Wisconsin. So the couple are the new station owners. They took over in November, but things haven't been going well. The volume of customers dwindled a side effect of the gas station changing hands multiple times. A temporary closure before the Nashes took over left people wondering if the business had closed for good. And so he said on Facebook, unfortunately, when times get tough, and unlike our competitors, we don't have the luxury of borrowing money from other gas station owners. Therefore, we need your help, Milwaukee. Please patronize us. Please support us. We cannot succeed without you. I cannot tell anyone where to spend their hard-earned money, but how does the only black-owned and brown-owned gas station in Milwaukee not get the support it needs? I continuously see our people patronize our competitors who are directly across the street. So, Marvin and Sonia Nash, we're going to have to get them on the show. We have to get them on the show. We're going to have to get them on the show. They own the gas station at 807 East Atkinson. And I think it's only fitting that we get there. And I don't think it's 8th East. See, here's my problem. Who wrote this story? Larissa Lynch. Where's Larissa? And you scroll down and it says the BP gas station at 807 East Atkinson. Isn't it 807 West Atkinson? But in the newspaper, it's wrong. Double check your stuff, please. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to just check it now. Atkinson. 807 West Atkinson. Yep. There it is. So, hey, Journal Sentinel, pay attention. Correct the story. Make sure you put the correct address in there so people don't go to 8th. There is no 807 East Atkinson. And so people don't look for it and then get upset and then say they mad. That's the kind of attention to detail we need in our community to make sure things are done right. Is that okay? I'm just saying.
Number 3.
This also from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel from JS Online. A crowd of 45 people protested outside Allen Field Elementary School yesterday morning to show their support for a teacher who was disciplined after sharing immigration resources with parents and students. Alondra Garcia, a second-grade bilingual Milwaukee public school teacher, says she shared copies of the district's Safe Haven resolution with her students last November. The resolution, passed in 2017, states that staff can't disclose any information about students or their families to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and ICE isn't permitted inside schools if the educational setting would be disrupted. Weeks later, Garcia was called to a disciplinary hearing with school principal Fritz Blandon. She said, according to the December 6 email Garcia shared with the Journal Sentinel, Blandon said Garcia violated 5 employee rules of conduct and policies, including policies related to professional conduct and communication with parents. The email does not state if Garcia was disciplined over the content she distributed or the method. Initially, Garcia sent a group text to parents indicating her plans to send their children home with immigration rights resources, according to the screenshot of the text. One of the parents later reported the text to Blandon, Garcia said. The district prohibits sharing parents and students' personal information. Garcia says she didn't realize group texting is against district policy. Garcia said that based on discussions with Blandon, she was disciplined for sending a quote-unquote political message, and Blandon suspended Garcia for 1 day without pay and added a statement to a personnel file last week. So should she have gotten that? And here's the kicker. Your policy for ICE and U.S. immigration has nothing to do with what they will do when they come into your school. Like, you do know if they get a warrant, they're coming in your school. Like, they're going to roll up, and if you get in their way, they're going to jack you. But I guess you think, everything's okay.
Number 2.
From WISN.com, we've heard this throughout the day about the collision between the helicopter and the airline that halted all of traffic in Reagan National Airport. So it's one of those things where it's unfortunate that it occurred, and our hearts and prayers are with the families that were impacted. There were several sports figures, skating teams, one from the United States and one from Russia. And so it's a bit unfortunate that something like that occurred, and we have to be careful that we make sure that those types of things don't darken our days, that don't make us feel as if we can't win. Because, it's you get on a plane and you leave and you think everything is fine and it's dark. And I think how many times I've landed at night on a flight. How many times have I flown into Dulles? Reagan Airport in D.C. and had to make that left turn because you got to go to runway 33 North, and not realizing that below me there were like helicopters just flying around doing their own thing. And I'm thinking to myself, So from now on, I've decided that I'm only flying into Baltimore, and then I'm going to drive to D.C. I'm just saying.
Number 1.
Well, I would read this big thing, but it's really simple because once I say it, it won't matter. From the Journal Sentinel, JS Online, the judge found probable cause in the criminal case against Tierman Spencer. Now, Tierman Spencer is the former city attorney for the city of Milwaukee. And, of course, he lost his bid for re-election as city attorney. And they came after him regarding some things that he did and charged him. And now, because he's had his probable cause hearing, as of 4/12 today, the judge has found probable cause in the criminal case against Tierman Spencer, and now it will be moving forward. So 2025 looks like it's going to be a very interesting year. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I have a guest that I've never had on before, and I've been waiting to talk to him all the time. That's Brian D. from our sister station, ESPN Milwaukee. So he'll be in, and we'll talk sports and life and, all things great. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. We have Sunday matinee basketball. The Milwaukee Panthers return home to take on Horizon League opponent, the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons.
Finds Fields back for KP in the corner. 10 on the shot clock, re-attacking, kicking. Stillwell for 3. Rim out, no. Fields offensive rebound. Layup is good. It's down to 2. 69-67.
Scott Warris has the coverage Sunday starting at 1:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 2 o'clock. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice is a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom, it's a right to have a child, it's a right to not have children, and this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Is your washing machine not quite getting the job done the way you expected? Running your dryer over and over because it is taking forever to dry your clothes. Be frustrated no more, because Create Suds Laundromat in Milwaukee can get rid of all your washing and drying headaches. They offer new big load washers and dryers to reduce your cleaning time and even have free Wi-Fi for customers. Stop battling with stubborn stains and piles of laundry and visit Create Suds Laundromat. They are open every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to put him on the spot. Brian D. is here, content director for ESPN Milwaukee. The whole, like, you're like the sports guru.
I don't know if I'm the guru. I would call myself the coach. I make
gave you a compliment. You got to say.
No, I appreciate that. I make sure all of our knuckleheads on the air don't say anything too crazy. I'm the coach. I'm the orchestrator. I don't know about the guru.
You mean like Kyle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle.
People always complain. You never talk about sports. You never say what's going on. Blah 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 blah. So I said I'm gonna get the guy from sports, Brian D., who probably has the coolest name that I've heard in quite a long time.
It's not like a radio name either. Like I've worked here at Good Karma Brands for almost 11 years, and I think for the first 3 or 4, people thought the D was short
like
for
an initial.
Yeah, like D'Antonio or something. You know what I mean? But it's actually DE. I've got the ID and everything. Show you my driver's license.
Don't have kids.
Not yet.
And name them something.
Travis.
That is like
Travis D.
Like D.
Yeah.
Like Travis D.
Travis, I get a lot. Travis is going to be avoided. Can't be Travis D.
Or have a daughter named D.
Dee?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
What's your name, Dee?
You got to be careful.
What's your last name? D.
What other? I would love to get these on the talk and text line, the Truth Talk and Text line. Bad names with the last name D.
Wow. Why would you do that? 833-212-1017. You can hit us on the YouTube chat, too. I'm just saying. So I've always been enamored with sports because sports is always one of those places where no matter what's going on, that it seems to like and I think I gave the analogy earlier, like a cigar bar, right? And then you told me you'd never been to a cigar bar.
I smoke cigars. I've never been to a cigar bar.
So it's one of those places you can talk about politics, religion, gender, sex, drugs, like anything, and like nobody gets upset, nobody gets mad. Sports seems to do that as well.
Yeah, I think that's correct. It feels like everybody's got a relationship to it, right? And everybody's got common ground in some way.
Right.
You can be angry. You can have an enemy in a friendly way with sports, right? You can hate a team, and then when the game's over, it doesn't really affect your life in any meaningful way.
I don't know. I'm a Bear fan. That affects my life.
That's fair. I'm coming off a tough AFC Championship game loss for my team too, so I'm having a rough week. But I think that having that fake place, that getaway, where we can all get together and not act like ourselves for if it's football 3 hours a week, is healthy in some capacity, whether that's negative or positive, right?
But is it fake? So when you say fake, what do you mean by that?
I'll give you an example. So like I went to the Bills-Chiefs game. I grew up in Western New York, huge Bills fan.
Okay.
Drove down there.
Say no more.
And I'm acting in a way at the game that I probably wouldn't act here with you in a studio.
But is that fake, or is that really a part of you?
It probably is a real part of me that only comes out in a specific situation. This is the interesting thing about talking to Ken every time, is he's a great listener and he'll challenge your own thoughts on things. So I thought it was fake until Ken just told me, nope, that's a deep, ugly part of you that was cursing at Kansas City Chiefs fans.
And then he adds words to it, as I say, so make it sound even worse. But again, it kind of proves my point. It's that place where you can just be you.
Yeah, I think it's a getaway.
So why do you think players play so hard then? I mean, they're almost as bad, if not worse, than the fans.
Money's number one. I mean, these dudes are making a lot of money.
$55 million. Yeah, I might do that.
Money's number one. I think there's a lot of sweat equity you put into it, right? Like, you do a great job on the air because you've put a lot of time and effort into this, right? You care. You give a damn. And then if you're going to go super meta with it, right, you're representing a group of people that are bigger than you. I think back to when the Bucs won the championship, 2021, in the middle of the summer, and I was fortunate enough to be in the arena for that Game 6, covering the championship game for our sister station, 620 WTMJ. And I went out onto that balcony on the top of Fiserv Forum there and just overlooked this massive people. They said it was 60,000 people. I think it was closer to 100.
Yeah.
And it was everybody. Like, the whole city of Milwaukee was bought in. It didn't matter what community you were from, what your background was.
How much money you had.
How much money you had.
Education, none of that.
Didn't matter. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
So I think to answer your question about the players on the floor, you're representing a community, a group of people that cares a lot, means something.
And so that whole moniker of teammate, right, kind of brings something to it, but others seem to have that down a little better than other people. How does that transfer sports to life? I mean, we talk about team, but then you see some places that are a team. What do you think those elements what are those elements that make up a great team?
I think it's relationships. You have to care about the people. Like, we've all seen teams that you see guys arguing on sidelines, right? You see guys cussing at each other on the sideline, then are on the same team. You're like, oh, they're not jiving. But that 2021 Bucs team, like, they're hanging out outside of the facility, right? They're comfortable with each other's families. I think it comes down to relationships, much like it does in any workplace, right? Regardless of where you're working at, if you care about the people around you outside of the job you're there to do, that inevitably is going to bleed into the job that you are doing, and I think that's where you see the tighter-knit teams that are successful.
Cool. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I got some questions I got for you.
Oh, boy.
That you got to answer cold. Cold. You can't.
Are these yes or no? Are they?
You'll just have to find out.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
Because it's about sports and it's about life.
I'm ready.
All right. My guest is Brian D. Content. What do you want me to call you? Like content guru, master?
I don't want guru or master. I'm not a guru or master at anything. Anything. You can just call me Brian or D. I want to get to some of these names, too. These bad names for my future kids with the last name D.
Bad names for future kids with the last name of D. Well, we got about 3 minutes to figure that out.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Milwaukee Public Schools students.
For the past few months, we have been in a time of extreme divisiveness and hostility. In all of the chaos, I find that I'm itching to get out there and make myself heard, to gratify my yearning for involvement. I'm so enthralled with desperately hoping that I'll make the right choices in the future that I fail to recognize the fact that I have the power to ensure that success now. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, we are faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. We need to take action, for ourselves and for each other. How will you help the people around you if you aren't willing to change? People are stronger when united. We dream and we try and we fail and we grow, but we do it together. What's important is that when someone asks you the question, what are you doing for others? You'll be able to say that you're changing. The best thing you can do for someone else isn't about material things or getting recognition for good deeds. It's letting someone make an impression on you. Letting someone challenge the way you see things. Letting someone change you, change your perspective. So consider the minor happenings a little more. Just flashing a smile at a stranger. A small change in your demeanor, and that person will be thinking about your kindness for the rest of their day. All it takes is a split second more consideration. That's all it really is. A thought. A change. A brilliant, shining chance to do what you can for others. Take it.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest.
Heavy ride along westbound 94, leaving the Marquette, stretching all the way to Holly Road. You're back on the brakes just west of the zoo, heading to the county line. On the eastbound side, slowing down from 84th Street to 35th. Southbound 43 is a heavy ride from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound slowing from Kilbourne all the way up past North Avenue, almost to Center Street. Then we've also got southbound 41 hitting the brakes just a bit from before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, late rain chance with a low of 34. Tomorrow, early rain showers, mostly cloudy otherwise, breezy and cooler, a high of 38. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneide. Figure skaters and their coaches and family members among those that were passengers on an American Airlines jet that collided with an Army helicopter near Ronald Reagan National Airport and crashed into the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday night. The Skating Club of Boston said 6 members were killed in that crash. Over to college hoops, where the 17th ranked Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team lost a tough one on the road last night in Maryland. This one by a final score of 76-68. The loss dropping the Badgers to an overall record of 16-5 on their season. Next up is another Big Ten road trip out to Northwestern on Saturday. And lastly, no Bucks game tonight. They're in San Antonio to take on the Spurs on Friday night. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's a shame when you have people that are younger than you that hear music for like the first or second time.
What are you shaking your head at Jason Smith for?
I love. I'm like, dude, it's like, I mean, I would make a really bad joke, but I'm not.
I like this vibe for 4 to 6 in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
Coming home from work.
Absolutely.
We got to up our bumper music game on ESPN. We got to make it more like Dr.
Yes, y'all do.
I'm telling you.
As a matter of fact, I've had some people call me like, what was that? I was like, hey.
It's a good vibe for this time of the afternoon.
Yes, it is. So I got some questions for you, Brian D.
Hit me.
Content director for ESPN Milwaukee.
Ooh, there's a sheet of paper.
I see the future. Soon, ESPN America.
That would be great.
ESPN the world.
For me or for the company?
For you.
I love that. I'm into that.
Can't even take a comp.
I'm very bad at that. I got to work
All
on
right.
that.
I usually ask people these questions that I interview about business. And so technically radio is a business.
It is.
So I'm going to use that as an excuse. What have you done recently for the first time?
Oh, it's a great question. Oh, I love this. My brother had his first baby. It was my first ever niece or nephew. So I got to hold a baby.
Okay. I was about to say, where's it going?
For the first time.
Where
I got to
is
meet
it
my
going?
nephew around the holidays and got to coddle the baby for the first time.
Outstanding.
Good answer there.
Apart from adding more time to your day, what would make the biggest difference in your life right now?
I got to start running more. I know that sounds crazy because I'm a marathon runner, but I ran the Chicago Marathon this past October.
All right.
And at the end of that, my body said, Brian, you got to take a damn break. Like, you know those moments where it's just like your body's tired?
Yeah.
And I can feel it mentally right now where it's like I need to start moving my body again. Like the body's caught up and figuring it out.
Right.
And the endorphins aren't going back and forth. I got to start working out and running a little bit more.
Your endorphins are on the couch in the back.
Yeah, just like me.
With some tequila. Okay.
It was a boozy holiday, like it is for most people.
What one thing do you have to do every single day?
Oh, man. It
People
should
need
be
to get
running.
to know you. Well,
I've taken a break, but seriously, like
you already said that's
for
not
4
happening.
or 5 years, if I didn't run every day, my wife would be like, dude, you got to get out of the house for a mile.
Like, I remember.
Like, that was
right,
my therapy.
in Whitefish Bay, it didn't dawn until somebody said, oh, yeah, somebody said it. I said, oh, that was Brian. It didn't dawn on me that all those days I saw people running, it was you.
I remember seeing you on a run like a year and a half ago. You were sitting outside a coffee shop in Whitefish Bay like, Dr. Ken, what's going on? So that is the thing that
that's your
more
thing.
days than not.
Okay.
I need that for my sanity and my therapy. My body just needed a break.
Okay, what's the first thing you do in the morning? Be nice.
We just talked about this in the break when we were talking about cigars. I'm a coffee fiend. So even if it's not the exact first
You cannot say that on my show without using the word we.
We are coffee fiends.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Coffee is my lifeblood. I worked early mornings on WTMJ for 4 or 5 years. When you're at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's just survival.
Yes.
But I also enjoy an afternoon coffee too. Afternoon coffee feels more luxurious to me.
It's my comfort drink.
Yes.
Right? So I worked in radio at WGN in Chicago. Show was 11:30 to 5:30. So
you had a 6-hour show?
Yeah. So coffee became a thing.
Would you do 6 hours on 101.7 The Truth?
Yeah. But then I would add more interviews. Like we did a lot of celebrities and all that. And the cool thing was if you're in the Midwest, it's only 10 a.m. it's only 10 p.m. in LA.
Yeah.
So you could get all the people that are missing and leaving and don't know
Do you have a go-to coffee spot in Milwaukee? You want to shout anybody out?
Starbucks.
Starbucks
but
good.
Probably Bixby. Downtown.
Oh, sure.
Downtown.
That's the new one in Red Arrow Park there.
Yeah, I'm a coffee snob. And I went in there and I think, well, I'm downtown and I got to go across the street to the PAC. We were doing a live broadcast on King Day.
Yep.
Let me go get me some coffee. Parked right in front. Man. Went in. Dude, I was like, So now I got to figure out ways to route myself through downtown to get a cup of coffee.
Isn't that the worst? So getting back to first thing in the morning, I had a coffee shop close near my old apartment, and I don't think it's over-exaggerating to say it screwed up my entire life.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but like my whole routine was just totally screwed.
Yeah.
Because the one coffee shop closed.
And so now I'm trying to think, okay, I got to go downtown. All right. And I find myself on Water Street.
Yeah.
With these orange letters going, come buy coffee. So I just go buy.
They're staring at you.
It's just.
I think this is an addiction, but I think there's worse things to be addicted to.
I'm okay because I drink like this much water for every small coffee I drink.
Oh yeah, I gotta.
So I'm one of those.
I gotta be better at that.
Well, I'm older than you, so I gotta do that. My kidneys talk to me every day. And
So that's the first thing I do in the morning.
Okay.
Is I find a cup of coffee, whether it's at my house or local spot.
What song is in your head right now? Man, I get everybody with that one.
You know what's funny? It's "Give It to Me, Baby" by Rick James. I know that sounds crazy, but
Give It to Me, Baby by Rick James?
So I was, like I said, I was in Kansas City for the Bills-Chiefs game.
Okay.
And Rick James is from Buffalo.
Okay, yeah.
So I was walking through the parking lot at Arrowhead Stadium, and that was playing, and for some reason it's been on repeat for 4 days. Great answer by me. Come on now, Rick James, Give It to Me, Baby.
I got to give you one on that one.
Up top. Ooh.
Oh, man.
We
that
missed.
Was pretty good. Close enough.
Good answer.
That's enough.
I love that was in my head right now.
Who's your guru?
My guru?
Yeah. That person you listen to all the time, that person you go, what would they do? What would they say?
The easy answer is my mom.
Okay.
She doesn't live in Milwaukee. I've been here 15 years. She lives out on the East Coast, sort of where I grew up. So I always appreciate getting to spend time around here because as I get older, it's been less and less. But she's the one person where if I'm in a real mental pinch and I need somebody to say, dude, it's going to be okay, that's her. That's my mom.
But isn't that her job, though?
Yeah, of course. But it doesn't mean it's not.
The only reason you call is to get her to say it's going to be okay?
I hope she means it.
You know, like, is it going to be okay because she said it's going to be okay? Or is it going to be okay because it's going to be okay?
That. This is your job. Are you saying things because you mean them? Or are you saying it just to get more people to listen?
Both.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe that's what my mom's doing.
She's like, I got to get him out of here. Like, he's been in the basement too long.
Yes.
Well, the proverbial basement, 1,500 miles away.
Correct.
All right. So what in your wardrobe do you have to wear the most?
Ooh.
Like when people see you, they go, oh, look, there's Brian. How'd you know that? Because he's wearing...
We're kind of wearing the same sweater right now, by the way, in like different colors. We got the same type of sweater on right now. Yeah. I'm a big sweater guy. I have different thick sweaters. I mean, we live in Wisconsin, right? So I feel like I'm going to get dumped or something. I've got one like comfortable.
Really? Wow, we live in Wisconsin. Imagine that.
What do you want me to pick? DJ Brother Z is mad at me. Oh, vest? He does. That's actually a great call. I am a big vest guy. I got like 3 or 4 of these winter vests.
That's all?
That I kind of cycled through.
I've got 15 sweaters.
You got 15 sweaters.
I am a sweater fool.
That's actually unbelievable that DJ Brother Z called that out because I see you a lot at like Fiserv or in the office, and you're right. I am always wearing vests.
Yes, you are. You always have a vest on.
That's a good point.
Now, the problem is it's always the same vest.
I feel like I cycle through a couple. I got a navy blue one. I got a Carhartt one. I got
Don't change my narrative. Don't change my narrative. It's the same one. It all look the same.
Okay, fair enough. I like that he called that out. That's a good point. He knows me better than I know me.
But everybody has that thing, right?
That's true.
Everybody has that. You know, I was listening to some stories about Michael Jordan and how no matter what, he was always a competitor. And games they lost was when the other team didn't talk. Games they won that he won was when somebody said something and it triggered him. And so I think about how sports can drive you to do so many things. Why aren't more people playing sports today? Like,
that's a great question.
Just, I mean, as simple as the ridiculous game of pickleball, but it's because I don't have the temerity to get out and actually run and hit the ball.
Yeah.
But because I'm more of a table tennis guy. But why aren't people doing things like that?
It's a great question. I think everybody should just find something that they enjoy, that they can do capably. Life lessons I learned growing up as a kid were playing Little League Baseball, right? Playing as many sports as I possibly could when I was growing up. Running. I ran cross country in high school. Running track, right? Like you learn what you're capable of.
Right.
You learn to kind of deal with pain in some respects. You learn about being a good member of a team. A lot of these life lessons I picked up through sports. So I don't have an answer to your question about why more people aren't, other than like there is some physical discomfort involved, right? And it's 2025. People like to be comfortable, man. The couch is a tough place to leave.
That sounds like a generational thing to me. I'm just saying.
Look at these Gen Zers giggling behind the glass.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, you all are. I'm just saying. And I was trying to get you a little, younger and more energetic. So, how do you like? What's the one thing that you do as a content director that you find yourself having to do all the time?
Relationship managing. And I say this about everybody, and this is a good peek into radio. I don't spend 15 hours a week talking to my wife, right? Like, I spend 15 hours a week around my wife, and that's the person I'm closest to in the world.
Right.
You spend 10 hours a week on the air talking with Jason, talking with DJ Brother Z, talking with Glenn, talking with Kyle Wallace, right? What we do is very intimate. So inevitably, disagreements, beef is going to pop up, and you have to kind of manage your way through it. And I think it's part of it because what we do is so connected and relationship driven, right? So I think that's a big part of my job is making sure everybody's cool with each other.
But see, that's the problem I have. So working your way through it. Just let it be. Let it work itself out. Let it.
You can.
Let it. And so it's funny because I've seen where people go, I don't think they like each other. They're mad at each other. We're like, what are you talking about? Well, I saw you all hollering and and we got to bring peace. I'm like, no, we just disagree. It's not the end of the world. Like we literally, I have hosts that I work with that we are vehemently different. Absolutely love the show. Absolutely love being with them. We hang out, we go to meals, we eat, drink coffee, but people literally think we don't like each other. And I think that's powerful because we both get to be who we are.
Yeah, I think disagreement on the air is powerful for sure. Different opinions powerful for sure. But inevitably, when you spend this much time with interpersonal relationships, stuff's going to pop up, right? So
I was complaining about you the other day.
I know you are. You
that
like
guy.
Once a week, you pop up to my desk and go, what are you doing now? What I do appreciate about you is every time I speak with you, I find myself being challenged to rethink things, which is great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Think differently about things.
Brian D., content director for probably one of the most famous, well-known stations in the city of Milwaukee, ESPN.
Rick James.
There you go.
There it is.
Just for you.
Love it. Appreciate you having me, Dr. Ken.
All right, take
Good
care.
Stuff.
Yep.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Start jamming in the morning and get your daily drop of juice.
Juice gets you hydrated and started for your day. And that's what we plan to do from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Every single morning, we're going to be keeping you in the mix, talking about everything you care about all before 9 a.m.
So wipe that crust out your eyes and get ready for jamming with juice.
Turning your mornings into your favorite part of the day.
Get that stank breath out of here. Brush your teeth.
It's it, bro. Like, what? Catch Jammin' with Juice.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Milwaukee.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you know the gap between black and white students in Milwaukee continues to expand and is among the worst in the nation?
Or that the overall learning gap in Milwaukee is nearly twice that of the national average for black students?
Milwaukee, you can do better.
But in charter schools like Milwaukee College Prep, black and Hispanic students have stronger growth than kids at traditional public schools.
That's some really good news.
For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible. Give the education all kids deserve. Donate today at mkeprep.com.
Bikerfest MKE, where everyone has a place on the road. Bikerfest MKE is a nonprofit dedicated to making the motorcycle industry more inclusive and accessible for all. Their programs empower youth with hands-on experiences in STEM, mechanics, and flat track racing through mentorship and real-world skills, preparing the next generation of riders, racers, and builders, giving underrepresented youth the tools to thrive. Join Bikerfest MKE to help build a more inclusive motorcycle community. Visit bikerfestmke.org today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Love is a losing game, played by fools and
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, Truth Nation, get your tickets now for our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. Visit 1017thetruth.com to purchase your tickets today. They're only $25. It includes heavy appetizers, a drink, and a great time hanging out with the Truth family. Don't wait. You do not want to miss the best community awards event of the year. Visit 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to our first annual Truth Community Awards at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. That's on Friday, February 28th, starting at 5 p.m. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me go back. Good afternoon. Song about Whispers. Now we ain't playing the Whispers. Tell the alderman at the Walmart at 103rd and Silver Spring sold today for $3.5 million, a developer who plans to put up some type of housing. I saw Culver's there. Wonderful. I'm assuming they're talking about Midtown. Someone who cares about the city. Louise, yes, he is. Somebody says Trump is really trying to blame the crash on DEI. Well, what they're saying is that if it's a woman or a black or Hispanic person, that's probably why it crashed. Because we know they're just not smarter. They're just not as smart as white people. So they'll cause planes to crash. So what do we do about the pilot if the pilot of both of the aircrafts were white? Like, are we going to do that too? Like, what is lives were lost. Show some respect. Have some dignity. Ooh. MPS sent an email out that says that ICE is not allowed on their premises and to tell your kids your kids are safe. Chicago did the same thing. Somebody said Teddy, like the last name D, Teddy. That's a good one. Who was that? Thank you, Kathleen. We don't really recognize that there are some things that transcend how we feel and how we think about people and race and ethnicity and all that. And for me, one of them is human life. You need to show some respect. You need to show some respect for people, regardless of race, regardless of color. The one thing that drives me crazy is when people say, I don't see color. Next time people do that, walk up. I had a woman say that, and I respect this woman. She's smart, and she said, well, I don't see color. I said, well, I don't see gender. And she looked at me like, well, I said, no. You don't see color for whatever reason you say you don't see color, even though I'm a black man. Then I don't see gender. I'll say what I want to say, do what I want to do. And if you get mad about it, I'm going to tell you, I don't see gender. So I don't acknowledge it. I don't acknowledge needs. I don't open doors. Nothing. Anything that has to do with a woman. Remotely close, I would just pretend like it's not there. And they looked at me and said, I get your point. That makes sense. I said, you're not losing anything by acknowledging my race. I think what you think you may be doing is, I don't know what I think you're doing. Like, I don't know what it is. So it was a great meeting of the minds. And those are the kind of conversations we have, like with Brian D. and with Mark Chambers. It'll be great. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's Thursday, so ain't nothing coming on but the Tory Lowe Show. See, I got my days right this week, right? And, yeah, tomorrow's Pop-Off Friday, so, you know, beware. I got a good number of things that are starting to rub me the wrong way. Hey, be careful. It's nice outside. Don't act a fool. It's like 50 degrees. Don't lose it. Everything will be okay. Don't forget to be here on Saturday from 10 to 12, Concordia University MLK Prayer Brunch. Make sure you check that out, too. All right. Hey, Jason, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. Check in on your neighbors. Make sure everybody's okay. Check on your family. Make a phone call. Don't text. I'm out.